Hello, fellow gamers! It is once again time to read your comments from my videos in Cyberpunk 2077. Hello, everyone. My name is Brent Justice, and welcome to my gameplay channel, Justice Gaming. I have been playing Cyberpunk 2077 for a while now. I am really liking the game, and I have made a lot of progress, as you can see from my YouTube channel here. I am up to 20 videos of gameplay, many hours, and I have also spent a lot of time in the game off camera, just roaming Night City to enjoy the wonderful world of the game. I am really enjoying it, and I like spending my time in this game. But what I also like is reading your comments on my videos. You all give me lots of good information, lots of good background on things, and this world is huge. This world has a lot of deep lore and story to it, and that's what draws me into this environment, and that is why I'm really enjoying it. Your comments greatly help with that experience, because without them, I would not understand half of what I know now in this game and how it works, especially when it comes to things like the weapon loadouts and types and cyber hacks and cyberware and just absolutely everything that's in this game. I've also got a few things in the game that I have missed from loot drops or special rewards that you all have led me to, which have also helped improve my gameplay. And I am just also loving the many different types of angles you can come at with this game, the different storyline directions you can go, choices you make which do impact other things that happen to you in the game. So it's really great. This is one of my responding to Cyberpunk 2077 viewer feedback videos. This will be the second one that I am making at this point in time. The first one that I made way back here a month ago was through videos 1 through 7. And this second part is going to include a lot of videos, all the way from videos 8 through video 20. So this one is quite much bigger in scope than the last one. However, I don't want this video to take up hours and hours of your time, so I am going to compress this as much as I can, and I am only going to respond to some of the comments, not every single comment in every video. I am going to scan through the videos, and I am going to read the comments that are relevant and respond to those. So I may miss one of your comments. I may not read all of them on camera, but I will read all of them to myself personally off camera. So if I don't read it on camera, know that I have read your post off camera. I am going to try to put this together and edit it well. So with all of that said, I am going to start with number 8, part 8. This was way back for me now. This was, yes, all the way back when we did that little mission with Barry, where we met Barry, our neighbor, and saved him, basically. I will also say that I have read some of these posts already and may have responded to them. For example, here, as you can see in the comments. So many of these I've probably already responded to, but there are a lot of new ones that I have not read yet, and I will get to those. But I'm going to scan these and then see which ones I am going to reply to. Okay, with all of that said, I am going to now get into the posts. I will probably not read these word for word because some of them are quite lengthy. Again, I really appreciate it. But for the camera's sake, I am not going to read them all word for word. That will take too long. I am going to skim over them now in the on camera here, and I will reply to them in that way. So I'm not reading word for word, but I am reading them and then replying. So we will start with this one. This was back in part 8. This was a long time ago at this point, where we saved Barry, our neighbor. Now, this person let me know the health and stamina icons icons are in the upper left for the XP and health regen, and you all told me that when you sleep in the bed and take a shower very early on in the game, you get those buffs. And indeed, I did get those buffs, and those icons were shown in the top left there, so I did notice that now. Good luck on the berry quest. It can end tragically, so this is one of those things where these storylines can go terrible, or you can have different outcomes, and I actually did that really well. Scanner hustles, gigs, and ensuing looting are your bread and butter. Of course, I have learned all of that now at this point in the game, much farther into the game. I really do enjoy the NCPD scanner hustles and assaults in progress. Various vehicles will come your way in the game. So that's interesting because very early on I had access to a lot of vehicles already, especially once I got that motorcycle from Jackie. I wasn't quite feeling like I was lacking in vehicle transportation, and maybe that was a thing for other people in the game, or if you didn't have access to those things earlier on, maybe getting around would have been a little more difficult. I actually found from the get-go that my getting around in Cyberpunk 2077 was really easy, and I could get to wherever I needed with whatever vehicle. But I also did have a DLC vehicle as well, which was really fast and allowed me to get around really fast. But I have not really felt like getting around is a problem. In fact, I actually enjoy walking around Night City and just seeing everything from the ground floor. You have to be careful around cops or hide more effectively from them. At this point, that is true, although I don't worry too much. I usually just run away and hide. Try using melee weapons if you can. Not really a big melee weapon player, at least for this playthrough. Maybe in the future I'll make a build of that, but I don't have the perks right now in a tree for melee type stuff. Right now, for my difficulty level, I will say this. I'm feeling that the game is just a little bit easy for me, actually, on the normal difficulty. I'm actually considering, and I haven't talked about this yet, I'm actually considering raising it to, excuse me, to the hard difficulty. I'm considering that. Now, this was a while ago, so again, we're really going back here, but have I picked up the ping quick hack? Yes, I have picked up the ping quick hack. I can turn down radio port volume, which I have done. Keep submachine gun and shotgun in inventory. I have basically all the different types now. So yeah, these are quite old that I'm going back here and talking about now, but I did want to just make sure I walked all through these and talked about each of these things. The early game is favorite part for this one, although I love it all. I don't mean that as criticism, but it's better to learn a lot of this stuff in Act 1. Act 2 is when enemies start to get stronger and game mechanics and it gets more complex and important. Again, for me, maybe I'm just overly built, or I'm just overly cautious, but I may increase that difficulty level. I'm not sure. You can pick your bike back up after looking at it. For some reason, when I was doing that in that mission, the icon wasn't showing. I think it was because I was not aligned correctly with the in the right place for it to pop up. Sometimes you have to look at an item in this game just at the right angle for the UI to pop up. I'm finding that is a problem with the game. Don't feel you have to do main quest immediately. There is no way that you can fail them. Well, see, it's not necessarily that you fail them, but you might have a bad outcome. You know, it might go poorly, or something not go your way, or you know, you create an emotional response with an NPC that you're not desiring. So those things I do want to watch out for. And this also, just because something says that meet me at so and so time at a place doesn't mean I need to immediately do it. I can do it whenever I want to. I don't have to feel like I'm on a time crunch, which the game does make you feel that way, but I have realized now that I don't have to think that way. I did finally figure out how to turn off the radio, thank you. And this person plays it on a PC, but uses an Xbox controller because it makes driving and moving around much easier and interesting. So that's interesting. I'm not really a big controller player. I would say the controller for driving may be easier, but for combat, for me, I could never on a controller. I'm keyboard and mouse player through and through. Hold G on your keyboard after placing a marker on the map and it auto drives. I finally learned this. So yes, holding G will auto drive you. Now it is slow, and sometimes it malfunctions and you run up on a wall or a car or something. So it can go poorly, but when it works, yes, that's very cool. I can cycle through different camera angles with using Q, which I have found out about. And also on NCPD jobs, don't go in guns blazing unless you can take it. So far, those are not hard for me. Maybe it's just my difficulty being on normal, but man, it's been kind of easy even on normal. Analyze and scan first so you don't shoot victims or bystanders. I have definitely learned to do that more. And pull out a gun in public location. People with yellow arrows over their head are usually armed people and not necessarily bad or wanted, so scan first. This I also realized. I thought yellow meant enemy. Yellow doesn't mean enemy or bad guy. Yellow just means they are armed. They can be an enemy or a good guy. They can be a good guy that's armed. So I do need to scan them and see what kind of gang they're associated with. And early in the game, you don't realize what the gangs are and what the gangs mean. So you don't know which ones you can actually take out or not. So yeah, that's something that you don't know early in the game. Now that I know what all the gangs are and what they mean, I know which ones I want to take out and which ones I don't. Of course, I didn't know that early on. Ideal health cyberware is blood pump and biomon. So I got blood pump and biomon. I don't have second heart though. With all three, you're practically immortal. You may need a certain street cred to obtain all three as soon as you can get blood pump. Yeah, so that's what I got now. I got blood pump as soon as I could, and let me tell you, I love that cyberware. And then this person also let me know, would you like a pet called Mr. Nibbles? Yes, I would. So yes, you told me exactly how to get Nibbles. I did, and I got Nibbles. So yay, I have a cat that constantly meows and will not be quiet. Okay, moving on. Revisiting the El Coyote Cojo Bar Part 9. Let's see. Avoid fighting the police until you're ready for it, which will happen a lot later in the game. So I have learned now that I can actually take on the police until I get to, I guess, max tech. Then it gets real dicey, I guess. But yeah, I can, it's not a problem now. Boy, I guess it was early on. Not so much now. Shotguns are powerful, but they have a chance of injuring a citizen during a hustle. So that's interesting. I need to be careful about that. I was using a shotgun recently to build up my solo XP, but yes, I can have collateral damage with that. Highly recommend going with a silenced pistol as your primary. Eventually you'll realize gorilla arms are the best weapon. I finally got gorilla arms, mainly so I can do beat on the brat. But I do have gorilla arms now. I look forward to using that. Okay, on cyberware, the yellow human symbol tells you how much humanity you will lose when installing, which basically I figured out it's your max capacity. You see the whole value and your possible maximum on the graph on the left. The blue icon will tell you what's affected by how much. Your armor value can be seen on the right. Some cyberware is connected to attributes, etc., etc. Finally, I figured out how cyberware works. Hitting the proper proximity to manipulate or pick up items can be tricky. Yeah, this one is really getting me in the game. Like it's real tricky. I'm telling you, they needed to make that easy. If there's one thing they could fix, is make the hitbox for the proximity to trigger that in the game, much wider. The tarot murals during gigs and missions. So I have found a few of them now while I'm doing gigs and missions. You guys are right. So that has not really been a big problem now. I've been finding them. I found the one at the Sunset Motel when I was recently there. So I don't know if I had mentioned that, but I did find it when I went back to the Sunset Motel. I found the tarot card thing there on the wall, the mural. Yeah, I am starting to find those. It's a judgment call whether you upgrade cyberware by purchasing better or using crafting components. So some of it I am purchasing, some of it I don't know if I've crafted cyberware, but I am definitely purchasing cyberware. I figured out the armor. Jackie's iconic pistol is among one of the best in the game. I agree. The El Dorado, something like that. That one, yes, I do enjoy that one. You have to discover fast travel points physically. Yep. You absolutely can hack people and devices, occasionally hack open doors, keep playing around. So I'm starting to learn that. Gang members, okay, this one was getting me early in the game too. After doing some major gigs, gang members will perpetrate revenge attacks when you get in a vehicle. So that's that I have found out. All of a sudden the maelstrom will come after me. And so I have to watch out for that. But I'm able to deal with them better now. Early on in the game, I wasn't. On the cyberware, the symbols next to the yellow hexagon is the capacity the piece takes, and the number next to the blue chest piece is the armor, summed up on the right bar. SCOP is an acronym meaning single cell organic proteins. It's a meat replacement. Yeah, I've learned about the food in this game, and it is wild. It's basically worm meat. Yeah, so that's crazy. So cyberware can be upgraded all the way to tier 5++. Well, I intend to do that. Legendary 5++. We're going all the way on it. You don't have to buy anything. Do it once you have the item just to write. Whoa, that's a post. Yeah, I'm skimming through all of this right now. I read this previously. I'm just seeing if there's anything I need to comment on. When you get the legs, get the one that gives you double jump. I must not have had double jump at this point in the playthrough, but yep, I got double jump now, and it is really useful. I'm glad I got it early on in the game. That was, yeah, I love that. So more about the cyberware here and the perks, the shards, the pistol I found, hack enemies, the Maelstrom gang. Yeah, all of this I'm very familiar with now. I've basically got every weapon type, so yeah, thank you for all the advice. Just a ton of good stuff there. I love Johnny going all out on the noir narration. Yeah. He's very good. Johnny, that part, when I got to that, I did enjoy. I wonder if he does that anymore in the game, but that section was interesting, the way he was talking. Shotguns are the best up close guns. They deal a lot of damage, but the damage spreads, and I got to be careful about that. Basically, I have like every type. I don't have a revolver. I don't really use revolvers, but I got every other type like in my inventory now, so I guess I can pull out whatever I need. You could have hacked the gonks. You just weren't on them with your rectal properly, and they were a lot of other devices close by. Whenever you see an access point, hack it, and they give you quick hack and crafting specs with the cost. So that's what I've also been doing, is making sure to hack every panel that I can find in the game. Do I want Rebecca's shotgun from Edge Runners? I don't even know what Edge Runners is. City center, where the giant fish holograms are, look for 3 monks praying. Walk past them onto the grass and in a bush to your left. I haven't done this, so I don't know what Edge Runners is, but I also have not, I've heard that term. I also have not gone to where the holograms are and the monks praying. I haven't done this yet, so I don't even know who Rebecca is, but I want that. I just don't know what it is yet. I'll have to go there eventually and do that. Single cell organic protein is a synthetic meat product. Yep, well, I learned about all that now. Their food system is wild. I'm playing Rocket League. Nice. Just curious, since you mentioned, what state are you in? I am in a state of confusion. Brent, have you seen the new disastrous? Oh yeah, this is not even related to Cyberpunk, but heck yeah, I did reply to this. I see. No, I'll take it back. I haven't seen it on purpose. I am purposefully not watching it because, well, quite simply, I don't watch garbage. If there is garbage, I don't want to sit there and watch it, so I'm not going to watch garbage. I hope it gets erased. I hope it gets pulled from the streaming services, and I hope that it gets erased from everyone's minds and canon and everything. I disastrously hate it. Even though I've not seen it, I have seen the clips and the parody videos, and I have also seen all the thumbnails for what people are saying about it and talking about it, and I gather enough. I've seen clips from it. I know enough that it is not made for me in the slightest. It is not made for me. As a huge Star Trek fan, I should probably just make a whole video about it, to be honest with you, because I could talk about it a lot. I'm already talking about it a lot. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. If you all don't know, if you've seen me play Cyberpunk, and this is the first time seeing me, I've been a fan of Star Trek my entire life. I started with TOS, saw all of them. Long story short, I had a friend that I stayed with at their house when I was a kid. Their father had on VHS every TOS episode. And so after school, I would watch those old tapes of TOS. And that got me into Star Trek. So I watched all of TOS there. Then I watched TNG on TV, then DS9, then Voyager, then Enterprise. And I've seen all of the stuff post 2009 as well. I've seen it all. There is nothing I haven't seen. But Starfleet Academy, that is one I am not going to see. No way, Jose. Nope, not doing that. So yeah, anyway, huge fan of Star Trek, but I know what is garbage, and I know what is Star Trek, and I know what is not Star Trek. I'll leave it at that. All right. I literally just made a whole Star Trek rant in a Cyberpunk video. Yay me. Okay, this was part 10. This was getting lost, missing clues, chasing depressed AI. That's right. I got really lost. One of the problems that I had in Cyberpunk is actually figuring out where it's telling me to go or where I should be going. Sometimes these undiscovered locations were hard to find. It ends up the one in this video that I couldn't find was at the afterlife. It was like inside the afterlife, but I didn't want to go there because I didn't want to start a mission. I had a mission where I needed to go to the afterlife to do a mission, and yeah, I didn't want to do that by accident, so I avoided it, and I think that's why I missed it and was getting lost. So that kind of stuff happens. You reminded me that T-Bug died during the heist. She was discovered and killed remotely when alarms were activated. So I had, you know, that went right past me. Missed that. There's a hidden free car in the Epistrophe North Side, which I did find, Johnny's car. NCPD missions give a lot of experience levels and perks and eddies. In gigs, you get more shooting or sneaking. Cyber Psychos, the missions are short, supposedly always about taking down the enemy non-lethally, but they don't really get boring. They can be challenging and have interesting backstories. So I am going to do those. I'm going to separate them. I'm going to do like 8 in one and 7 in the other. And I'm going to separate those, and I'm also going to do them non-lethally. I now have PAX on a weapon. Hopefully that will allow me to do it. And yeah, gigs I will show on video. NCPD missions I might not record, but the gigs I will definitely record. Those are a little bit longer than the NCPD missions and assaults in progress and stuff. Let's see. You often go through alley. Yeah, getting lost, man. It's really easy to get lost if you like using fast travel, but you can also drive mission to mission. I have been enjoying just walking around Night City and taking my time. It's actually neat looking around at everything. A lot of people say motorcycles are the more convenient. At first, it might seem that way. Sometimes it's easier to weave through cars. However, playing Cyberpunk, I conclude that driving cars give way more fun. There are tons of great cars. Yeah, so you know, I'm not a huge thing on the vehicles in this game because I just find getting around is not difficult anyway. Like, I don't need a vehicle, but I'll collect more. That's fun. I guess it's a part of it I'll do. You have an interior map, the mini map. Yep, I try to follow the mini map. Sometimes it's not real. I mean, it's there, but you know, I gotta remember to look at it. Also, Ripper Docs won't have different cyberware. They will only have what you're able to acquire according to your street cred. And my street cred is almost 50 now, so I should have a lot of access to cyberware stuff. Be very careful abandoning quests halfway through a conversation. That's another thing, is if you walk away from the NPC, they stop talking, or not. Yeah, you like basically stop your conversation or miss out, or it switches or something. So I got to be careful to, you know, not walk away or too far from them when they're in a conversation, and not interrupt them when they're speaking either. Gigs don't take a lot of time, more than scanner hustles, but not as much as a side job. Yeah, it's kind of like NCPD hustles are the shortest, then gigs, then side jobs, then side quests, then missions, I think. So finally figured all that out. T-Bug died in the heist. I need to actually go back and watch that video again so I can see where she died, because y'all are saying it. I need to rewatch it so I can remember when that came up. The seemingly random calls from people you don't know are fixers introducing themselves. Yeah, so I have been getting a lot of random calls from those people, and I just need to follow up with more stuff. I actually have not been responding back to text messages or calls in the game too much. I need to do that more, probably. I've been following my journal. That's what I'm real used to. I'm not used to making calls or text in games, so I need to do that more, I guess, in my playthrough, rather than just going to the journal and selecting the mission and going to the mission and doing it or whatever. I need to like call the people before I do the thing, maybe see what they give me. Yeah, I need to try that more. Saw something about non-lethal here. I always carry around a blunt melee weapon for helping with non-lethal, but even with a melee weapon, you still have to be careful because you could kill them if you hit them too much. So it's about knocking them out just enough for them to be knocked out, but not dead. That's real hard to do, actually. Gigs are bigger than NCPD hustles generally. T-Bug died during the heist. Use the mini-map Coffee and Toast. Search warehouses where you chase the Delamain, which I did, and I got the car, so thank you. Okay, next one. Part 11. The Divergent Car AI stuff is a lie. That's right, we helped Delamain with some crazy AIs, and I killed Delamain. I don't know what that's going to lead to, but we'll find out. I guess it led to a bunch of crazy, a new AI, and that seems even weirder almost. NCPD jobs, go to your map and you'll know exactly what it is. Yep. Reported crimes, they keep coming up as I go through, which I've learned. Thank you for being very thorough in your gameplays and explaining things. Yeah, I try to, because, you know, why else am I playing the game? I'm not playing the game just to get through to the end and be done with it. I'm in the game to be entertained. You know, it's like a movie. I want to be entertained. I want to enjoy it, but I also want to learn. I want to experience. That's a better word. Immersion. I want to experience the game. I want to feel it. I want to get lost in it, and I want to know the story that they're trying to tell. And I have an appreciation for game developers and everything they put into it. The art, the environment, the graphics, the story, the world, everything. I'm really into it in that way, and so I want to take my time. Sometimes I rush through some stuff because it is fun sometimes just to blow stuff up and just to shoot everyone in the head and throw a grenade, toss a grenade, boop, throw a grenade at them. That's fun. Like, that's part of it too. So there's like a balance there. I have immensely enjoyed watching your gameplays. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that, especially Stowe. Been following your channel for quite a while. You are inspiring me to get back into Cyberpunk. It is a fun game. See, I can see myself doing a second, you know, playthrough on the game and a third playthrough. Because I see different builds that I can make now, and I kind of want to do that. On the left side of your map is where you can display all things defined, whether it's vendors, and give you an option to display them on the map. Ways to avoid cops getting mad at shooting you: don't throw grenades into crowded areas. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Yeah, no, it's just fun, right? Doing different scanner hustles. So here we go. Dakota Badlands is a fixer, as is Regina Watson, Wakako, Westbrook, Lino, City Center, El Capitan, Santo Domingo, Padre, Haywood, and Mr. Hand, Pacifica, and Dogtown. Oh, so each fixer is like dedicated to a location. That I'm going to have to memorize. Okay. Well, Regina and Watson, we've met. Wakako and Westbrook, I know we've met. I don't know if I've met Dakota. And I definitely have not met a Dino or Dino. And El Capitan, I don't think so. And Padre and Mr. Hands, I did get a text or a phone call from or something. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put all that in my head because they're by location. That's interesting. All right, I gotta remember that. Fixers are the ones you do the gigs with. All right, I got all that. You can visit them, or you can, okay, Mr. Hands, when you go into the district, they call. Ah, okay, so when you go into the district, they call. That makes sense. Ah, okay, so yeah, okay, so they are by location, and then when you go to the location, they call. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Explore the halls outside of your apartment for a cool mission. So yeah, I did explore the halls. I found some guy in the hall who was harassing someone, and I stopped him. I killed him, though. Probably not a good idea. But this was very early on in the game when I did this, and I did it off camera. So, because it just happened. I was just walking around the halls of the apartment, and yeah, I found that guy that was like harassing someone, and I killed him. So I guess I did that, but there wasn't much to it because I just killed him. Maybe if I hadn't killed him, I don't know, but I did. I don't know if that's what you meant, or if there was something else that says the reward is pretty awesome. I don't know if I got a good reward from that. I don't even remember what it was. Like, again, it was off camera, and it was a long time ago at this point, but I don't remember a pretty decent reward for that. I don't remember that. And don't forget to go to the side job at the roller coaster in Pacifica. So, yeah, you all have told me that I missed this side job at a roller coaster in Pacifica. So I don't know if I could ever, I guess I never can do that again or do it, whatever it was. I have no idea. I kind of want to know what I missed, though. A faster gun might help a lot in firefights. The handgun called Lizzie. I don't think I have that yet. Yeah, I'm not going to read this. I know that, thank you, by the way, for putting this statement here, because I have not heard of a handgun called Lizzie. Not heard of that. So I don't want to spoil myself. I'll play a little bit longer and see if there's something like that comes up. And if it doesn't, then I'll look at this spoiler to see where to get it. But I don't know. I haven't encountered that yet. You eventually get used to not figuring out how not to trigger the cops. At this point, I don't even worry about triggering the cops. I'm not too worried. If I do trigger them, I just run away. Yeah. Max tack, you know, I only had Max Tack show up once, and it was because I was trying to get him to show up. I did a fun little video where I was like antagonizing the police just to get Max Tack to show up, and they did, and I was just trying to see if I could even deal with them, and I could not. But yeah, I don't go that far. Nina was the poor babe you found on the mattress under the bridge. The fight with the drone out of nowhere at the end of the GLaDOS Delamain quest. Ah, okay. It's best to seek out the cyber psychos and tarot murals as you progress in the game. Yeah, which I am. I'm getting the tarot murals as I play. Cyber psychos are mini bosses, so you better buckle up. I have gorilla arms now. I'm looking forward to doing that. The GLaDOS cab was voiced by the same VA as in, that's really neat. Same voice artist as in Portal. So I thought it sounded the same. So that's really, really, really neat. Took me a day, got a hot black tea, chocolate. That sounds nice. You're too hard on yourself, no apologies. Well, you know, I want to have a good gameplay. You are missing the green pickups. Pickups come in different colors, indicating their tier or value. I might be missing some. I've tried, but there's a lot. I try to scan. I need to move through this quicker because we're only at part 12. I don't know whether to like the fact that you're not using the minimap or hate it. If you're stuck, the minimap shows you. I mean, I see it. Sometimes it tells you to go a certain way and you think you're going that way, but you don't. And the reason why is because, are you on a sidewalk or are you on a street? Is there a bridge? Like if you're under a bridge or on top of a bridge, you know, the line's still in the same place. So do you need to go over the bridge or do you need to go under the bridge? You know what I mean? The mini map doesn't tell you that. It doesn't tell you in 3D where you need to go. It only tells you in 2D where you need to go. So sure, it tells you to go straight, but is that straight over the bridge or straight under the bridge? I don't know. In regards to hacking, you don't have to start the timer until you know how you want to solve it. Yep, I learned that. This is where the ping came in handy. Yep, I've learned where ping will show you the enemies and the cameras. I stumbled into the monster hunt very early in my first playthrough, and it was very hard. So hard that I wasn't sure I wanted to keep playing the game. Interesting. Yep, a lot of different play styles. A random gang encounter that I stumbled into, and it will happen. Yeah, that's happened a few times. I can now quick chain quick hacks, which is neat. I could not way back in this video, but I now have the ability to quick chain, and so that is very fun. And even though I'm putting my perks in, I can refund them and move them around. So I can also reskill myself, I guess, once I figure out where I want my skills. Check your crafting menu. You've been picking up higher tier stuff. Yeah, I've learned now that I can craft higher tier stuff. Keep an eye on your mini map. Keep interacting with Gary the Prophet. Yeah, I need to go back and find Gary the Prophet. I found him once. I need to find him again. Figure out where he was because I forgot. But I have not interacted with him since then. I need to go back and do that. Don't waste money on armor. Yeah, most of your armor comes from like cyberware and stuff. That job you couldn't find was in the afterlife. Yeah. I didn't want to get involved in an afterlife mission because one of my main missions was in the afterlife. I didn't want to take the chance. So now that I've done the mission that was in the afterlife, I can now go back and do that side quest or side job or whatever it was. I'm not a big fan of missions in games where you have to fight someone in a ring. That's me also. However, in Cyberpunk, they didn't bother me. They're short and just a few lines of dialogue, a quick fight, and you get some money. Yeah, I'm going to do them. So I was probably thinking about maybe skipping out on Beat on the Brat for a long while, but you guys have said it's really not that bad. It gives a little bit of dialogue, some reward, and now I got the gorilla arms, so it shouldn't be a problem. So I definitely think I'm going to go do Beat on the Brat as a video, and yeah, wander around Night City because that's what I'm gonna do. You were in a random world event on your way to that first gig. They were not targeting you, but you happened to be in the way and became a target. Sure did. It's all about how you feel and how you. That's the thing about these jobs or these gigs or these missions is, you know, what's right is kind of how you feel about it, and that's it. First playthrough, I did it guns blazing like your current run. Current playthrough, I did it entirely playthrough, I did it entirely sneaky without being detected or alerting. So yeah, I mean, there's different ways to do it. I tried to mix it up a little bit, but I just do enjoy the going in guns blazing in this game. It can be really fun. As for the Cyber Psycho missions, doing all 17 in one go can get tiring and a bit boring. I'm going to break it up into 2 videos. Be careful killing shop owners. Oh, I killed a shop owner in a bar? Oops. You'll permanently make the offerings I usually have unavailable. Shooting a Ripper Doc might lock away iconic cyberware in the game. Well, I'm not going to shoot a Ripper Doc, so. Good thing you can reset your attribute points, but only once. Got to remember that, because to get everything in the game, you need 20 technical, 20 intelligence, 20 body, and at least 15 in reflexes, especially if you want to loot everything. That's what I want. Cool is only good if you want to sneak and stealth through the game. Yeah, I have not been putting a lot into cool, so if I ever respec my stuff, and I probably will respec my stuff, I'll probably do less in cool, and this sounds like a good spread to me. 20 technical, 20 intelligence, 20 body, and 15 reflex. Perk points you can redeem and put wherever you want at will. Yeah, I have already come across things I can't open, but again, I am limited by just how many, skill points I have. I only have so many. So, and I can only respec once, right? So I need to wait until I get all my points and then figure out how to, what I want to respec in. But right now it's like, I only got what I got. They only give you what you get. So I'm limited. Moving like lightning, most likely using Senevistan or Herenzikov upgrades. Yeah, that's what I hated, was having to replace the Senevistan with the Cyberdeck. You'd only have one or the other. So I think I'm going to stick with the Cyberdeck for right now. But I got one of those things. Part 13. Yes, this is where I went back and did main questing again with Automatic Love, trying to find Evelyn. When Sky was working, it was her doll chip, special hardware. So when dolls are working, when they come out, they don't remember anything. Okay, so that's interesting. So it is basically a whole different personality. Dolls often do more than just talk. So yeah, it's like a whole different personality. It's hilarious how many people completely lose track of who Sky and Angel are. Yeah, CDPR made it much more obvious with Upgrade 2.0, but still. The conversation with either Sky or Angel goes very deep. Getting in and out of clouds without violence is pretty tricky. Things usually go sideways at some point. Keep trying to be a master of stealth. I mean, I don't know if that's the way I'm going, because right now I have not put anything or hardly into cool. And if I wanted to be stealthy, I would need to use the cool attribute, and I'm not really going that direction. So I may not be doing stealth in this first run, maybe in another future one, but I'm not going to be doing a lot of stealth, I don't think. I understand it's a play style. So far I have not been leaning in that direction. The tapeworm dialogue with Johnny leads you deeper into the game's overall story, so try to keep them in mind. I will. The Takamura thread is an entirely separate quest line. I think I'm ready to finally get into it at this point. You are quite correct about leveling up body and tech to be able to open doors. However, raising any of the attributes to 9 will ramp up your powers in that attribute. I try to get everything to 9, then keep a few attribute points in reserve until I need them. So yes, I've been trying to do that as well. If you don't have strength or tech skill to open a door, try giving hacking a try. You know what? I have not done that. That's a good point. I need to see if I can hack doors open if I can't tech them open. The gorilla arms can help you pass through those doors, opening body. Okay, yeah, so now that I have the gorilla arms, maybe that will help me get through some of the doors where body wasn't high enough in or something. You're at a point in the game where you can just do the missions you feel like doing. You don't need to be overly cautious. The game will tell you when you have or shouldn't slow down. Okay, just follow whatever interests you most at any given time. Don't worry if completing missions in full stealth feels difficult. Most of my missions also ended in a bloodbath, and back then I often couldn't even tell how I was supposed to avoid the outcome. Yeah, some of these I feel like, how am I supposed to avoid that? But others I see like, oh, well, I could have done that, As for opening blinds, windows, or doors, usually as long as no one sees you, it's fine, but yeah, I figured out that when they're looking at you is not the time to open the window. I am not one here to save and reload in games. I don't like doing that. I like to just take the first route. I did it in my last video I just made, number 20, but I'm not going to do it in the future. I don't like doing that. So y'all will just have to accept that sometimes I make mistakes. I'll accept it. I know I'm going to make mistakes, so you're just going to have to accept that I make mistakes. Another thing, when you gained access card in clouds, the tiger claw you choked out stopped a gun that you could have picked up. Oh, slow down and observe your surroundings. The same with conversations. The customer who was turned away at the VIP entrance, his conversation had some very helpful information. All right, I will slow down to listen to conversation. Number 14. What happened to Evelyn Parker in A Disaster Piece? I remember this one. We had to save her. Failed is letting you know that the trace on your traceable hack failed. Right, this was one question I had early on because I was getting these like failed and I thought it was me that was failing the hack. It wasn't me, it was them hacking me that failed, which is a good thing then. You crack me up when you say about look around and find everything, but you're still rushing and missing a lot, so slow down. Okay, I'm missing some things. Have pity on me, it's my first time playing through the game. I'm gonna try. Really enjoying this playthrough and seeing how you play the game, how you build your character V. If you do a few NCPDs or gigs between each mission. You'll find each can upgrade a regional level as you progress through the storyline. If you decide you want to do a full-on upgrade and max everything out, I recommend doing a whole video of just gigs and side jobs. Yep, I'll do that. Not traceable only means enemies cannot use it to follow the signal back. Yep. Stayed for the whole video. Thank you. When you solve the puzzle, the other clues don't matter, and you can leave the brain dance and continue missions. All right. Camera control is ideal for reducing enemy count. Turn off camera, then use control, and you can jump through cameras to other areas. If someone tries to trace you while using a camera, don't stress that. Jump out of the camera and go back in because the tracing will fail when you jump out. Oh, okay. So if I'm in a camera tracing and they trace me while I'm in a camera, back out of the camera, that fails, and go back in. I find the changes you make about your weapons in Cyber at least as interesting as your gameplay. Well, thank you. It's a big part of playing the game optimally. You are correct in thinking the higher levels and types of cyberware become available as you level up in street cred. So yeah, I do spend a lot of time doing my intros in the videos, and it's because I spend a lot of time off camera trying to build it. You know, I mean, and I make a lot of changes because I want to use everything so I can figure out what I like. And that's how you figure it out, right? You have to use everything and say, I like this or I don't like this. You don't know that until you try it. And so that's kind of what I'm doing, is just moving everything around to try stuff. Note that some cyberware will do the same thing for you with some perks, so be judicious. You can change both to get a percent. It's quite legitimate to level up an attribute, but not any perks in it. Use quick hacks that match the tier of your cyber deck, which I am doing, etc. I mean, I read in all of this and replied to this already, but I endorse getting into Ghost Town soon. It's huge fun, which I did do. So I've left Takamura's quest to the end. Well, to the end of those missions anyway. You can take over camera system and use your quick hacks through it. Iconic Sword Errata was in the mission, which I did go back and get. There are no cyber decks that reduce cost for combat quick hacks. However, the Tetronic Rippler does increase the effectiveness of combat quick hacks. So yeah, I need to look at the Tetronic Rippler. I think I did have it at one point, but that basically is like combat. I think that's the one that's like combat quick hack damage boost, something like that. I can chain sequences together for the hacking. I can also chain quick hacks now. Overheat is best used on living enemies, and short circuit is best for bots and drones. Okay. Overheat, living, all right. The failed you saw meant that the trace failed. Synapse burnout, while it is traceable, the trace will fail as long as you don't already have a trace going on. Oh, okay. So maybe the synapse burnout I can use more and more safely, huh? And I guess if I do the hacking through the cameras and then back out, they won't trace me anyway. So hack them through the camera, back out, they don't trace me, and I still succeed. I guess that's a way to sneak in. Oh, okay. Delamain's rogue eyes go crazy. Delete, merge, destroy. Oh, this was when we did. So that other one was the other Delamain. This was when I deleted Delamain here, part 15. You need to go back to the room with the furnace you were in, rescue Evelyn. There may be some interesting loot you missed. Yep, the errata. I did all the NCPD hustles, gigs, and most cyber cycles, and even made side jobs off camera to level up before doing or recording main quests. Also, the Hoon has guns on it. Yes, I learned that. Finally, hit a button and boom, I can shoot cars with it. On the subject of smart weapons, I can't wait until you meet Skippy. Don't know what Skippy is. Get some gorilla arms. I got them. Dude, read all my comments on your... I did. I read them. I even read them here. Read them several times now. I've done a few unrecorded play sessions, but limited myself to the casual unmarked encounters while saving the marked scanner hustles and gigs for recording sessions. You got a kitty. Nice. Yep, I got Nibbles. There's a simple mod called Pet Your Cat that allows you to pet Nibbles if you want to install it. There's also mods to change his looks. Where vehicles spawn after being summoned is a bit of a crapshoot. Yep. Doing the Delamain mission is surprisingly tricky. Your take on Evelyn echoes my own. Good to know. There is a mod for a flashlight, also a night vision mod. Yeah, I think the not seeing in the dark thing with the flashlight is a bit of an oversight myself. They should have had like a flashlight, in-game flashlight. Keep experimenting, or at least one attached to your weapon, right? You bring your weapon out and you can aim and it's a flashlight. Like the flashlight should be attached to the weapon and you can turn off and on. That's simple. They should have done that. I must have been lucky on my first playthrough. I found the Delamain mission really easy, but I also had 20 in essential attributes. Yep, I did not. There's no right option for the Delamain core, but my favorite is destroy it. The others are interesting. Did you know you can play the radio while driving? Yep, I did know. I've played every ending in every mission, and they're all good depending on your point of view. Notice, no flashlight or cyberware option. When it's dark, it's dark. However, scan with your optics sometimes helps, which I do. No flashlight. Honestly, no need to record all of the NCPD scanners. That's what I am not doing then. I'm not recording them. You can't have 25. The highest is 20. For your style play, you need 20 intel, 20 tech, 20 body, 15 or more reflexes. Yep. You don't need cool unless it's Cenovus, and so I leave cool at 4. So I probably have too much in cool already, but I can respec in the future. So I'm gonna go for that. I just got to remember that. I need to write this down. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste this. So that way I make sure. I'm making a note right now on my desktop. I'm making a note. And why is my button is not working. There, I have copy and pasted your comment on my skills, and I am going to remember to use that layout for right now. Since I don't know what I'm doing, that will probably be good for me, because I don't need cool. I'm not doing stealth really in this playthrough. Maybe in the future I'll do another build where I do stealth and I use cool more. All right. Number 16, the Maelstrom Gang really hate me now. 3 gigs. I did 3 gigs here. I think gigs are definitely worth recording. Yep, I'm going to continue to record gigs. Yes, Nibbles just hangs around. You don't have to feed him. There is no mod. There is a mod that will allow you to pet him, but that's about it. No way to silence him. The GLaDOS Delamain chase and ambush took you to Pacifica. Yeah, I didn't realize that I was already in Pacifica. Putting cameras and turrets on friendly mode doesn't stick for long at lower levels. So you can eventually make them permanent friendly? Huh. Note that cracking data panels becomes more and more profitable as you level up. I have a theory that doing a perfect stealth run in a gig will prevent one of these revenge attacks, but so far I haven't quite managed it in my own game. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about stealth, to be honest with you. I'm having fun blowing stuff up in Cyberpunk. I don't know why, but for this game, it wasn't that way in Deus Ex. I really did want to do things real slow and real careful and all of that. I still want to choose diplomatic. Well, okay, let me put it this way. In Deus Ex, I did like diplomatic because Adam Jensen, even though he's corpo, he was a moral guy, righteous moral guy. V, not so much, so it's a little different with V. I thought that's how this game was going to play out, that I was going to do it like I did with Adam Jensen, but I'm finding maybe not, especially with his corpo responses. They're very aggressive. So maybe I'm not going to be so diplomatic like I thought I was going to be. I think I'm still going to try to be. I just don't think that it's going to end up being that way with V. V is very different than Adam Jensen, which I'm learning. So I might just kill people, which I've been doing, and it's actually a lot of fun. Blood Pump and Biomon and Second Heart, and you will never look back. Yep, I already have the Blood Pump and the Biomon. All I need is Second Heart. I don't have that yet, but I'll be looking for it. Invest in the double jump legs, and you will also want... yeah, I think by this point I had it. I've got double jump legs. A couple of ways to stop trace. Run far enough away. Kill whoever is tracing you, but this is difficult as there could be more than one. Okay, so I can just run away if they're starting to trace me. You're gonna have to remember places you've been so you can go back and open stuff you couldn't. Yeah, that's another thing. I will have to remember that, and it's hard because there's a lot of places that I've been to. What I'll probably do is once I get, you know, up to those level 20s and stuff, I will probably just spend time exploring. Maybe looking back in some of my old videos and seeing the location of where places were and going back to so I can get in these doors that I wasn't able to get into before. When in doubt as to whether or not that you can talk to them, scan and look at their affiliation. If they are in a gang, you won't be able to talk to them unless the job says otherwise. Ah, look at their affiliation, huh? So if they're in a gang, you won't be able to talk to them unless the job says it. So if they're not in a gang, maybe I can talk to them. Oh, well, that's extremely helpful then. So I will scan them, look for affiliation. So scan, look for affiliation. If gang equals no dialogue. If not gang equals potential dialogue. I can remember that. Killing gang members will never give you a wanted status unless your firing hits an innocent or comes too close to a cop. Sonic shock makes them deaf and also unable to sound the alarm. You can also use camera control after turning the camera off. You can also cycle through all cameras connected to the network. You can tag enemies and quick hack them through the cameras the same way as when you're looking at them directly, etc. All combat quick hacks are traceable, as are most control quick hacks. Covert are not traceable. Tech weapons can shoot through cover if you hold the trigger and let them charge up. I have one tech weapon, but I haven't used it for such a thing, but that's interesting. Can it shoot through walls? It can shoot through cover, but can it shoot through a wall? Cameras and system collapse your enemies because they don't die. You can finish them later with headshots for your skill level points. With cameras, you have a few cameras to look through. Use them and highlight all enemies so they're permanently visible. And remember, you can hack them from the camera. Best quick hack is system collapse. It's untraceable. I don't know if I have system collapse, but I need to look for that. I'm gonna copy paste this one. System collapse. Let me write that down because I want to see if I can find that quick hack. Maybe I can craft it. System collapse. Okie dokie. All right, number 17, getting to know Johnny, Amok, Nigel, and Zen. This Nigel thing just came out of nowhere in that playthrough. I was like, who the heck is this guy getting beat up? Of course, I didn't recognize he was getting beat up at first, but there you go. Wow, a lot of comments on this one. These I haven't read, so all of these comments moving forward, 17, 18, 19, 20, I haven't read these comments or just a few of them, so these are new to me, so I'm going to probably read through most of these now, read through most of these. The skull symbol marks especially tough enemies, below Cyber Psycho but above average gonk. They often possess special abilities or cyberware. Okay, so Skull is just, they're just harder enemies, but I'm not too worried about them, I guess. They're just harder, but they are not Cyber Psychos. Nice work finding the skill progression page. Many people never do. Yeah, I found it by accident. I was like, what does this button mean? I clicked it and I was like, what is this? And all of a sudden there's these extra perks that I can get based on how I level that stuff up. And I'm like, whoa, okay, now I know what I want to work on. Also, errata, I missed it the first time through as well. It was introduced in 2.1. Oh, cool. Weapon choice is an important factor in the game. I don't like the Masamune or the Copperhead. The double barrel shotgun seems old-fashioned, but it's powerful and reloads quickly, unlike the higher capacity shotguns that temper power with slow. I hate slow loading shotguns, let me tell you. I hate it. I hate it. I did find the double barrel had a good reload. Weapon mods make a difference too. Choose them carefully. Yep, they are permanent. Testing weapons to figure out what works best for your playstyle. So I'm not too worried about mods on non-iconic weapons because I'll probably just replace it with a higher tier weapon in the future anyway. So if I put a mod on a non-iconic weapon, that's fine. I could either get another one to put a different mod on it, a different weapon, or find an iconic one. So it's really the iconic ones that I'm going to keep forever and keep upgrading are the ones I've really got to be careful what mods I put on them. Losing my religion is a very tricky job. The Maelstrom Gangoons are the most fragile in the game, unfairly so. That last hit with your baton on the first enemy was likely the I knew they died too quickly and too easily. I think every weapon, even the ones described as non-lethal, will kill if you use them after the enemy falls. Lately I've been creating a dedicated non-lethal pistol with a PAX mod, but I haven't tried it in this mission. You can try putting a PAX mod on a blunt, but I have no idea how it would work. Yeah, I haven't put it on a blunt weapon. I don't know if I have a blunt weapon I can put it on. I have a couple of the PAX now. I got one PAX left. I need to maybe put it on a blunt weapon? Not sure. I did put it on a shotgun, although I'm not sure how useful that is. The best quick hack for non-lethal takedowns is system collapse. Collapse, but it uses a lot of RAM and can be tricky to use. As usual, it bears some testing out. Yeah, I need to get system collapse then. Skull icon denotes an especially powerful enemy, particularly NCPD netrunners. These guys will wreck you. I've never discovered what the job with the cops beating the corpo was all about. It may be something revealed in the Street Kid life path. I see. Yeah, no idea. So I'll have to, if I ever do the Street Kid lifestyle, which I will do in the future, I will have to come back and try to find Nigel. I'm not sure what the Buddhism meditation aspect of the game is all about, but I guess it's a nice break from all the violence. Yeah, that was weird, huh? Just a BD or a brain dance of a Zen forest. I guess it's just a relaxing moment. And that's actually what makes this game unique, I think. And games like this, when developers can do that, they just put a random thing in the game that's just like, it's just there to take time for you to find. And you're like, oh, cool. It makes the game feel like it's bigger, doesn't it? Like there's more to it, like there's more in the game. Content, you know, it's just more content. Makes it feel bigger. Any iconic weapon you collect and don't use, if you put it in your stash, it may appear on the wall of your apartment. That's interesting. I don't really go into like the weapon stash area much. Just kind of keep everything in my inventory. But I guess I should inventory stuff I'm not using. Problem is, I like keeping stuff in my inventory so I can pull it out in the middle of a mission if I need it. Not sure if any blunt weapon will do what you want. They make noise, which will still alert others. And honestly, I haven't used blunt weapons. Maybe the monowire which I haven't used. As for weapon mods, the mod you're looking for is PAX. It renders any weapon non-lethal. Does it really? Is there any caveat to that? And yes, there is an ultimate cyberdeck mod called System Collapse. It requires lots of RAM, so look at environment, find ways going in and low. Don't forget to crouch and make use of a lot of low-cost hacking skills. Whistle will draw an enemy towards you. Using other things in the world, you can also distract enemies to draw them away from you. You can use a combo of those depending on where you are and where other things that can be used as a distraction. Going stealth does require some thinking and is challenging in this game, but it isn't overly hard either. The monk one is tricky for getting the two in the back. It's not exactly easy the first time. I wouldn't worry about drawing your level up too quickly. As I said, the game will scale according to that. And with Phantom Liberty, max level is 60, not 50. By the way, Dogtown is the really tough area of town. Pacifica is like paradise in comparison. The markers above enemy heads, yellow is medium, but really it's a low level. I think yellow just means they're armed. Danger, red is large danger. When you see the heads instead of blank, those are high-ranking boss members of the crew. The errata katana and Fenrir or any weapon with fire burn have a lethal bonus effect with the contagion quick hack. Cool. Contagion, overheat, and short circuit are non-lethal quick hacks. Oh, are they? Contagion is non-lethal? Overheat's non-lethal? And short circuit, I can imagine that one would be. But overheat and contagion are non-lethal? You'd think something like overheat would kill them, and contagion sounds contagious. But if you say so, as long as you don't damage them after. Blunt weapons and gorilla arms should be non-lethal, but any damage after they are down kills them. I see. There's a PAX mod for firearms that make them non-lethal too. But again, in all situations with a shotgun, Satara is my favorite shotgun. You get engineer and solo skill experience and can hop on a roof and charge it up to shoot enemies through the ceiling. Gary the Prophet is in the alley next to Misty's, Esoterica, but sometimes he is sleeping. So I need to go back to where Misty's is. The skull symbol over an enemy means they are more difficult. From the start, I knew this game was perfect for you and that you'd get totally hooked in it. I totally am. Awesome that it's giving you so much fun. I don't remember what difficulty level you started on, but maybe consider. So I started on easy, and I learned early on that was too easy. I bumped it up to normal. I am currently on normal, but I am considering bumping it up to hard. I am considering it. I haven't really hit anything that's hard for me, to be honest with you. So I may. And if I do that, I will do it on camera so you all see it. The game will still bring you plenty of joy, but it's also throwing a bigger challenge so you won't have to worry about getting too powerful too quickly. I almost feel like I am too powerful too quickly, but maybe, see, I haven't done a lot of big missions yet, so maybe there is a big boss out there that is going to give me a lot of trouble that I'm worried about. Easy and normal are basically a breeze. Yeah, so I'm on normal right now, and I am finding it to be a breeze. On hard, you start feeling like you need to plan your moves carefully. Very hard probably delivers the most fun once you already know the ins and outs. I may do this in the next video. I may bump it up to hard. I may do that. Ew, that's gonna hurt me though, but I'll do it. I've already got Blood Pump and Biomon. So it's like, you know, I'm pretty good. I'm just missing the second heart one, and I'll probably eventually get that. First time I rescued the monk, I wasted all those Maelstrom gonks, but when he made me feel bad about it, so then I crept up behind each one of them and put them to sleep. But as soon as the monk leaves, I go around and headshot all of them. It was the camera that alerted them to when you climbed the container. Oh, the camera can alert them. PAX mod makes any weapon non-lethal. Also, blunt weapons are non-lethal, but you have to be careful, because once you stagger them and they fall to the ground, if you hit them after that, they're dead. Oh, and the reason you're supposed to be nice to Johnny is so when you go find his grave with him by giving specific answers, you unlock... Well, this is a spoiler. That's a spoiler. You really need to hack computers and access points so you can get those quick hack components, as you're going to need them for cyberware and weapon. Yep, I'm doing. You should see my in-game map. I have everything turned on. Yeah, it looks a little overwhelming, but when you complete something, it's no longer there. All right, I might just turn everything on too. That's a way to do it. Scavs are real bad. Remember Sandra Dorset? Those people kill chooms and harvest chrome. Yep, scavs are bad. That can kill them. All gangs, Aldecados, Wraiths, Tiger Claws, Maelstrom, Scavs, Animals, Voodoo Boys, 6th Street, Valentals, and Mox, but you don't fight them. Scavs are gangs. Most of the groups are gangs. The one time you find something different in a group. Militia is when you start Phantom. Well, that's a spoiler too. Do just film everything, do the NCPDs and gigs between or on the way to missions. Easy way to cover. Yeah, I'm going to record everything except NCPD hustles. I'm going to record the gigs because they're a little bit bigger. I'm recording that. This is the only one I'm not going to record. NCPD hustles and assaults in progress. They go too fast, too quick. I can knock like 10 of them out, you know, in an hour. Easy. So I'm just gonna like do the gigs and other stuff. All right, 3 more to go. Part 18, getting on Pan Am's good side in Ghost Town. So this one was fun. You guys mentioned that once I got to Ghost Town, it would be pretty fun, and it was. If you picked up the iconic rifle from Nash called the Widowmaker, which I did, when using it, put the quick hack overheat on an enemy and watch them explode. Of course, then I guess that would be lethal, not non-lethal. The same thing happens, but to more enemies using Contagion and the prototype Shinjin you pick up at the Arasaka warehouse. Just make sure you read the emails on the computer so you know where to find it. A little bit of a spoiler there also. No, trust me, they're nomads, so no chance they would have gone with you. Nomads always keep the family first. Okay, good to know. Also, I'm going to mark all of these because I have read them. You absolutely can come back to Rocky Ridge. The Badlands is my favorite area on the map, which I did go back off camera. Rogue is one of my favorite characters in the game. So cool, so beautifully voiced. You didn't exactly meet Nyx, but he was the guy that gave Rogue the shard with info about Hellman's movements. She called him by name. Ooh, there's plenty to find in Badlands if you search around. Go off-road from point to point, search at night, and keep your eyes open for mysterious lights. When you encounter a locked place with a window, you can usually break out clear glass if you can't find another way, but there's no place you need to go in a quest that the game makes it possible. Okay, I went back in the daytime to those houses and stuff, and I could not get in. But you're saying go back at night, see what lights are on, break the windows, and get in. I'm doing that off camera. I am definitely doing that, knowing that that's a thing I can do. Heck yes, I'm doing that. It's very difficult to take out the crowd of wraiths by stealth, and impossible to do it to Nash and his chooms. You can talk Pan Am out of attacking Nash in his hideout, but agreeing to the attack is the optimum decision. Have a careful look at the perks available under the intelligence attribute. Maybe there's something there that will help with Netrunner attack. You can return to Nash's hideout later to loot it out thoroughly. I need to go back there. Your mini-map only shows loot on downed enemies. There indeed will be more to find. All the hot-blooded fellows think it's a pretty good move to try to sleep with Pan Am. But don't get excited. Pan Am isn't that kind of girl, not exactly. Anyway, you'll get closer to her as time goes on. The quest to find Hellman is pretty major. Just like finding and rescuing Evelyn, there's another big step ahead. My first playthrough followed the same course as yours. Later on, I took a day between Ghost Town and Lightning Breaks to fiddle with my cyberware and consider my weapon options. The Contagion quick hack is useful. Be sure to read and understand its properties. A system collapse will take out an enemy silently and with considerable authority. It can be tricky and expensive to use. Okay, I'm eager to see you negotiate Lightning Breaks. Be sure your ammo is fully stocked up, which I have done at this point. A lot of good information there. Thank you. I definitely need to go back to that area at night. There's no way to sneak on the wraiths in Rocky Ridge. You want the system collapse quick hack. All right, I'm going to look for this. Now, what's interesting is, yeah, you said here that I could have not chosen to take out Nash and all that. I guess I wouldn't have got the Widowmaker then. So I guess I did good. I need to use it, I guess, in combination with Overheat. The problem is, if I want to use Overheat as a takedown, non-lethal, don't use Widowmaker with it then, because it'll make them explode, I guess. If the game wants something to happen at a certain hour, it'll make you wait and just do a time skip, okay? System collapse quick hack will do a non-lethal untraceable takedown on an enemy, but it can cost like 24 RAM. I'm gonna have to RAM up and figure that out. Trust me, you will want to go back where Pan Am and you killed Nash in the tunnel when you're level 40, because there's a nice surprise waiting for you in a blue container. I'm going to go, but I'm not level 40 yet. I'm level 31 as of this video, 30 or 31, somewhere around there. So I will go there when I'm 40. If I can remember that. Remind me when I'm 40. How about that? When you see me 40 on screen, remind me to go back there. Right now, I think I am 31. Blue dialogue options rarely make a difference in the game. The blue options also give more info on the job, which is why I'm choosing them. Yeah, I found that out. The only times you have to be careful is when you're talking to Johnny or NPCs you may want to be very good friends with or even romance. Johnny, Pan Am, Judy, Carrie, and River are the ones you should consider blue options. Most jobs, none of the others have any real effects. You should have mentioned her problem with authority. It was funny and didn't affect anything. Most jobs aren't timed, Main storyline jobs never are, with the exception of the first mission of Phantom Liberty. Once you get that job, do it right away. Sonic Shock deafens enemies temporarily and keeps them from sounding the alarm. It does no damage. Okay, yeah. I use Sonic. Sonic Shock is a way just, I guess, to do a takedown up close. You can hack explosive tanks and use them against enemies as well. Just initiate overload. Contagion does spread. It is indiscriminate as to who it infects other than you, so it will also spread to civilians. So be careful in populated areas. Oh, that's interesting. So it could go to civilians. Okay. Well, yeah, then don't let it spread to them. Thanks for another episode. Today's beverage is an Ethiopian natural pour over coffee. That's nice. That sounds delicious, actually. You're definitely done with Judy and... Oh, I am done with Judy and Evelyn. Oh, I thought we might hear from them again. It's never made sense to me why Johnny says you're going against Rogue to work with Pan Am. Wasn't that was the whole point? Just keep in mind that it's Johnny when deciding on taking his advice. I replayed over 100 hours my first playthrough and I didn't like the path his advice took me down. The voice actor for Pan Am, Emily Wu Zeller, has narrated a ton of audiobooks, not an exaggeration. Even considering digital media doesn't really have a weight. Listening to one of her audiobooks can be a little like having Pan Am read you a story. Contagion probably is my favorite quick hack. If memory serves, the Raven Microcyber deck adds to the spreading the fun around to more enemies. Yeah, it does. It has a spread damage buff. I saw that. I think I'm using that deck right now, but I don't have Contagion. Or I do have Contagion. I don't know. And if I don't, I will. Don't stress too much about how combat might have gone better. It's Night City. If you survived, you won. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways these can go. Part 19. We got to Hellman's mayo and made him spill the mayo. You'll be able to buy iconics once you get to Phantom Liberty. Okay, well, right now I can't buy iconics. That person in the gas station was the store clerk person in the gas station. I can't remember what that was about. Oh, I see. Yeah, back here in the gas station when I had to rescue Hellman from the gas station. So that person in the gas station ended up being just the store clerk, so I guess I was never going to get to him. Okay, I wondered who that was, and I never went back and found him. Remember what I said about when you reach level 40? You have to go back to the tunnel where you killed Nash and Pan Am. There's a surprise. I will, but I'm not 40 yet. I can't do it. Do you mean level 40 or street cred 40? Because there's a difference. I'm not level 40 yet. I'm level 31. Pan Am and the pilot, I always shoot the pilot as soon as I open the door. And any wounded enemy lying around, I headshot them for skill level points. Well, that's cool. It happens at the end of every main job and personal jobs of various friends you make. It adds suspense, but doesn't mean that your time is running out in the game. Remember that there is no time limit as to when you have to finish the game. There are 2 melee weapon shops that sell 2 different iconic knives. One is the melee weapon shop in Pacifica, and the other is out in the middle of nowhere in the Badlands. In Dogtown, there's a black market vendor. There is only one that sells most iconics that you may have missed. Some iconics can only be crafted too, so be sure to check your crafting from time to time. Remember, the overheat quick hack is best against human, and the short circuit is a better choice against bots and drones. If you use initiate overload on the turrets, they will be down permanently. I find it kind of amusing that you are nice to everyone except the one guy who is always with you. Who am I? Johnny? Am I not nice to Johnny? Is he the one guy you're talking about? How am I not nice to Johnny? I'm trying to be friendly to him. If you are friendly to Johnny, it could have led to a secret ending. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been trying to be nice to Johnny. I have been trying to be nice. Have I not been nice to him? What have I done that's not been nice? I've been trying. I guess I've not been doing it right, because my goal was to be nice to Johnny. One other thing, you cannot fail main storyline jobs. The game doesn't let it happen. The closest you come to that is by dying, but even then you just reload. Okay, so the problem for me isn't that I can fail the main job, it's that it can go, there's different paths from that. You can go this way or you can go that way, you know, and I want to go the good way, not the bad way. I'm watching this in the AM, so I'm drinking my morning coffee. Pan Am always makes me think of the Pan American Airlines that existed. Yeah, I also thought of Pan Am Airlines too. I thought of both. I did think of both. Lightning breaks and the ensuing life in wartime is some of the best action in the game. Gun vendors have a random distribution of items, so they are worth checking out. I need to go to all the gun vendors. I haven't done that. I need to do it. Pre-2.0 vendors would have specific weapons worth shopping around for. It's rarely necessary to buy weapons unless there's something specific you haven't found yet and really want. I generally stock up on mods. They add a lot of what your weapons can do, particularly at higher tiers, so keep crafting them up. Do the mods and attachments in your inventory count toward your weight carrying capacity? That's a question I have. Do they? Because you have a limited weight carry capacity. Does that count toward it? You are finding conversational threads I've never discovered. Well, all right. I'm glad you're seeing something new. The fact that rocket launchers never make another appearance in the game is a great loss. Yeah, rocket launcher. You basically can't do anything except befriend Panam. It's worth being nice to her. In my opinion, you made the optimum choice by dealing with the pilot. You will hear from Panam again soon. Don't ignore her calls, even though they don't advance the main story for the most part. There's a ton of map to explore. It would have been fun if Street Kid V made more of a big deal about being out so far from the city. The airport and gas station are both worth a revisit, although there's nothing really special there. Scorpion's Apollo motorcycle is great for off-roading in the Badlands. If you might want to have a thorough look at your quick hack spec sheets, one or more of them might be particularly effective against specific targets like robots, drones, and turrets. You're sitting on several unused perks. Examine your options. Yes, I am, because I'm just trying to figure out where to put them. The deep conversations with Johnny can increase your rapport and partnership with him as time goes on. A hostile location notice is an area that seems otherwise harmful. Could indicate that a camera is surveying you, or it could mean a bug. A quick save and immediate quick load will often cancel these false readings. I need to do quick saves more. My V always evolves in their look and wardrobe. Female V is particularly versatile in her wardrobe. I think mine's going to evolve too. For the rockets on the AV, there really is nothing you can do but run up to it and turn off the computer. Well, I'm glad I didn't do that poorly then. I thought there might be a way to hack them from a distance. They should have that. You know, you should be able to hack it off from a distance. I'll apologize right now. You asked several questions, including about a mod to make a weapon non-lethal, so I covered them all and making my response a little lengthy. No worries. I got it all. I need to, and yeah, don't ever apologize for making a long post. I read them all, as I'm doing right now. All right, number 20. This is where I'm currently up to right now in my recording. So when you watch this video, this is the latest one that's been published. I rescued Saul sneakily, and I did. I tried a new thing I've never done. Well, I mean, I've tried a little bit. I snuck by distracting enemies and doing takedowns from behind and not killing them. So non-lethal takedowns by distracting. I didn't use many quick hacks. In fact, I only used distraction. That's it. So I wouldn't say it's a real great sneaky playthrough. I don't have a lot of points in cool. So it was pretty much just that. And I feel like I didn't get to use a lot of my kit, a lot of my gear doing it that way. So I'm not going to do it in the future. Like, this was fun one time, but I'm not going to do this a lot. Okay. At least in this place. The mission in your journal marked with the Phantom Liberty icon isn't actually part of the DLC content yet. It's a base game quest that serves as a mandatory prerequisite to unlock the expansion. Honestly, it's not worth saving for the very end. It provides a lot of crucial lore regarding Johnny and his backstory. Plus, in typical Cyberpunk fashion, it features great locations and plenty of fun. Only after you fully complete the Pacifica storyline will you receive a call from a mysterious character, which will trigger the actual starting quest for Phantom Liberty. Well, that's interesting. I'm still going to wait, though, because I just feel like I need to do more of the other base game before I get to that one. Even though it is also still base game itself, I want to progress a little farther in that. But I won't. I'll do it maybe 3/4 of the way through the game or something. I don't know. We'll see. Congrats on completing this mission stealthily. By the way, if you had been spotted, the part where you escape in the van would have played out a bit differently. I actually replayed this mission yesterday myself, this time using only melee weapons plus the scent of Eston. You can only take down everyone in the facility silently. It takes some time, but it's a lot of fun. It's also great that there are so many different entry and exit points in that building. It really lets you get creative. There's a quick hack called Memory Wipe. If you use it as the first one in your queue, it makes all subsequent hacks used on that enemy untraceable. Oh, as long as no one actually sees their buddy dropping dead on the floor. Oh, so okay, so they have to not see it. I think this hack is exactly what you need to make your life easier. It lets you stay invisible while still enjoying the tactical side of quick hacking. Okay, so Memory Wipe. Then I can use other hacks, not traceable, but as long as they don't see it. If they see the guy fall on the ground, it's done for. Okay, well, that's still tricky, though, because I got to make sure they don't recognize, you know, that person's going down. A couple things about the Wraith Camp. There's an iconic weapon and a ton of loot there. If you went in guns blazing, a heap of them would have come for you, and when you got in the van with Saul, this ensues a vehicle chase and shootout, which can be a little hard, but also at the back of the camp, there's some more cool loot, but be prepared to swim for it. So now that I've succeeded this mission, I'm going to go back there and kill everyone and loot it. I like spending time in this game too, and I've been playing it since 2022. I'm on my 13th playthrough. My goodness, man. And I played through every life path, and every new play is a new life path. So I'll tell you, I don't have a favorite, as they're all good and there's different questions and outcomes for each. As I said about playing 13 times through, it never plays the same way twice, even knowing where everything is. The game has a mind of its own. I love that about the game, though. I'm glad you're enjoying this game however you want. Honestly, don't worry about the street cred. It's pretty much useless, other than unlocking some side missions. Well, it's useful for getting the higher tier cyberware, the better cyberware. Like, the cyberware does not become available until you reach that higher street cred, so it's necessary, I would say. It's not useless, it's necessary, but other than that, okay. Whenever I counter hack, I hit them with system collapse, and whoever is connected to the enemy netrunner also goes down with them over, but I think that's because of the spillover perk. System collapse is untraceable. I've got to get that. As for Phantom Liberty itself, it's not a DLC that is completely detached from the main quest, nor is it something you should save until finishing the base story. While the game suggests you can start Phantom Liberty once you reach 15 to 20, I personally think that's too early. It's better to finish Pan Am's questline first and complete at least a couple of missions with Takamura. Narratively, that's the ideal moment to dive into the expansion. Once you're around level 30-35, you can comfortably open the DLC, even if you just do the first mission to gain access to Dogtown. The expansion scales to your level. I see, the way that I look at it is that when you all played the game, when this game came out in chronological order, the game came out first, base game, and there was no Phantom Liberty. So everyone played the game first and got through to the end of the game, then Phantom Liberty came out, and then you retroactively played it, you know, in the storyline. That's the original chronological order. I like watching movies or doing anything in chronological order. For example, when a movie comes out, Star Wars. Let's take Star Wars. Great example. All right. If you watch it in the episode order, well, you're going to watch the first three that they, you know, made after the first three. You know what I mean? What's the name? I'm blanking on the names of the movies, and I should know this. Here, I have to remember this myself, or I'm gonna have a problem. Star Wars movies order. I think you all know what I'm trying to say anyway. Come on, AI, work for me here. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, right? So these came out later, 99, 2002, 2005, but in chronological order, A New Hope came out in 77, Strikes Back came out in 80, and Return of the Jedi came out in 83. So now if you watch by episode order, you're going to watch episode 1, then 2, then 3, then go back and watch 4, 5, 6, and on. Well, I don't like to watch that way. I like to watch in the year it came out, because that's how we live in the world. We live in the year we live. We live in the now, in the present. We are not time travelers. So in chronological order, episode 4 came out, and then 5, and then 6. So I would watch, if I have never seen Star Wars before, which I have seen all of Star Wars, but if I have never seen Star Wars before, I would start with the 77 movie, and then the 80 movie, and then the 83, and then 99, 2000, and on and on. I'd go in that order. So it's the same for me with like games, right? In games, usually the base game comes out first, and then DLC content comes out after the game's been released. So everyone who played the game like within the first like few weeks of the game being out, maybe finished the game, well, you've already finished the game before the DLC comes out, even if that takes place like in the middle of the story. So story-wise, sure, Phantom Liberty may fit in the middle of the game or something, but chronologically, the game came first, and you all finished the game, and if I had played the game back then, I would have had it finished before I played Phantom Liberty. So in that way, I want to finish the game before I get to the DLC, because that's the chronological order that it came out. That's the years that it came out, the time frame. So all that makes sense. I know that was a long-winded way to say all that, but I'm sure you can understand that. I like hot chocolate too, and it is honestly something I end every day with a hot chocolate. I will admit that. I end every day with a hot chocolate. Okay, I'll tell you how to take down Cyber Psycho's non-lethal. Yes, please tell me. Stack, system collapse, contagion, and overheat. But I play on very hard, so it requires a bit more and a few times, but the end result is they don't die. I remember on my first playthrough I murdered them all and was disappointed when Regina gave me a talking to. So after that, I figured out that hitting them with overheat and contagion left them alive, but the higher level you play on makes them harder to take down, but you can bring their life bar down really low, finish them with contagion, and you're okay. Also, if you're worried, do a quick save before each Cyber Psycho so you can redo it. For the Cyber Psychos, I am definitely going to do the quick saves before I hit each Cyber Psycho because I want the non-lethal outcome. Full stop. I want the non-lethal outcome. But I'm still concerned about this even system collapse, contagion, overheat. Doing all of that, if I was on a low difficulty and I did all of that, is that going to kill them? If I do all that, is that still too much to kill them? I am, please read my comments and video annotation. I'm cheating at work watching this video. So the one question I still have left is, again, no one has answered this yet from any of my videos, and I've left a question about this. Putting PAX on a weapon, is that an ultimate non-lethal weapon? If I put PAX, you guys saw it hopefully in the video, I put PAX on a shotgun. I've got PAX on a shotgun. If I shoot people a lot with that shotgun, even though it's got PAX, is it really going to be non-lethal or is it going to kill them? Can you shoot them too much with PAX that it's still going to kill them? Do I still need to be careful about just making them stagger or fall and not shooting them further? Because, and the reason why I say this is with that PAX on my shotgun, off camera, I did some NCPD hustles, shot people with that shotgun that has PAX, and it looked to me like they're dead. It looked to me like limbs flew off and they're dead, even with the PAX on that shotgun. So I question, is it still killing them? Is it really non-lethal? What weapons can I put PAX on where I know for certain, what weapon can I put PAX on that I know for certain that they are not going to die? What is that? I have one PAX I can use right now. Tell me what weapon to put it on. You tell me what weapon to put it on. I will put PAX on that weapon. Okay, that's our little deal. And that's where I'm at. So anyway, this has been a really long video. I said I wanted this question and answer video to be a short one. The last one was an hour and 23 minutes, and this one's even longer at an hour and 30, and I was trying to keep it well under an hour. I failed completely. So there you go. But I did have a lot of videos to get through today, a lot of comments to read. And again, thank you all so much for leaving your comments. I do appreciate them. It means a lot to me. And I read every single one. I'm trying to take the advice. I'm trying to listen. It's a lot to understand and listen to and remember. I'm going to work on the quick hack types and chaining the right quick hacks to see what that does. I'm going to have to practice though off camera because I don't know. I'm going to have to go practice chaining those things like you said and doing all of that. So, and I definitely want to find that other one. What was it called? System collapse. I need to find that. Just uses a lot of RAM. I get it. So, yes, that's where I'm at in the game. Cyberpunk 2077. I'll probably do another run of videos before I do a video like this where I talk about all these things. So, look forward to that in the future. That should be really cool. I think so, yes. So thank you all for watching and spending your time with me. And I can't wait to see you all back in Cyberpunk 2077. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.